I'm James, and I'm a pretentious cinephile.
I'm Elizabeth, and I'm a pretentious cinephile.
And this is Amateur Hour with the Pretentious Cinephiles.
Welcome to the first episode of Amateur Hour, where James and I, two pretentious amateur cinephiles, will be talking about some of our favorite movies.
Each week, the movies we discuss will tie together thematically, and towards the end of the episode, Elizabeth and I will recommend a soundtrack we both really love.
Now, we'll try not to be too dumb and dumber, but sometimes it's as good as it gets.
Don't go overboard on the puns, Elizabeth.
Just go do your review, James.
Our first film is 2019's Portrait of a Lady on Fire. This film was directed by Celine Sciamma and stars Adèle Haenel as Eloise and Noémie Merlant as Marianne. Marianne, an artist, is hired to paint Eloise, bride-to-be, however must keep it a secret because Eloise refuses to model for any of her painters. As the two grow closer and the painting nears completion, the two learn lessons about friendship, love, and womanhood. One thing I love about the film is the acting. Haenel and Merlant give powerfully understated performances that are super captivating. I really love how small glances and simple gestures are used to create a tension between the pair, and how these small things amount to a depth of character that's impossible without the two amazing performances by the actresses. However, what I find truly masterful about Portrait of a Lady on Fire is its thematic unity. I love how there's no fat in the film and only scenes that are essential to depthening characters' relationships and talking about themes like womanhood and love are added. I also love how classic literature deepen the meaning of symbols throughout the film.
Après avoir préludé en frappant les cordes de sa lyre, il chanta ainsi. Ô divinité de ce monde souterrain où retombent toutes les créatures mortelles de notre espèce, je suis venu chercher ici mon épouse.
Another notable element of the film is the beautiful beach views, the light blues, yellows, and pinks of the color palette. It's just spectacular to look at. I love the close-ups and long shots of Marianne drawing with charcoal and painting Eloise. It's just so relaxing. It's like walking through an art museum, but it's a movie. It's a must-watch. As for this film, I give it 10 creepy coral chants out of 10. That's a tongue twister.
The next film we're going to be talking about is Frances Ha, one of my new favorites. It's a 2012 comedy drama directed by Noah Baumbach, who recently just did Marriage Story. It stars Greta Gerwig as the titular role of Frances,
The titular role!
Mickey Sumner as her best friend Sophie, and Adam Driver as one of Frances's roommates, among other actors. As for the plot of this film, it's really not a super plot-heavy movie. It's more of an organic, experience-driven film. But basically it's about Frances, who is a young adult woman living in New York City, trying to make it as a dancer. The only problem is she's not that good at dancing. She's not bad, but she's not great. So the movie kind of follows her ups and downs of living with her best friend, living with roommates, a little bit of relationship stuff, but it's mostly just about her as a person and her personal growth. One thing I love about this movie is it's a throwback to the 1950s style of French New Wave cinema that was really big movement in France. Despite having a pretty good budget, they actually used really amateur lighting and camera equipment to get their desired effect of like kind of a homey, just humble movie. On top of the style of French New Wave, there's also this other genre called mumblecore. Mumblecore has been around for like 20 years or so, and it basically just describes like this subgenre of movies where it's usually characters that are in their 20s or 30s, and it's really dialogue heavy, there's not a lot of plot or conflict, and it's really just realistic dialogue. It's not super scripted, sometimes it's even kind of improvised. A lot of the dialogue in Frances Ha is awkward, it's funny, and it's really relatable. So that's what makes this movie so appealing to me. Finally, the thing that I love most about Frances Ha is its overall messages and portrayal of women. A lot of times today I think there's a push for like Wonder Woman, Superwoman type characters that are like big strong female protagonists, but Frances Ha shows that you can have a great female protagonist who's just a complex, real, relatable person who's just living her life. Romance is sometimes in the movie, but it's not about that. At the end of the day, it's about Frances growing and living her life, and also about friendship between women and how that can be such a lovely, strong bond. So for all those reasons, I give Frances Ha a 10 awkward shoulder touch out of 10.
Here we are.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
Lab, honey, you home?
Finally, for our first soundtrack of the week, we chose
Little Women
from the 2019 movie. This score was conducted and composed by Alexandre Desplat.
Alexandre Desplat.
What do you like about the soundtrack, James?
I love the plucky strings and the fun rhythms that just contrast and fight with one another, but they work so well. It's just so fun to listen to.
It is a feel-good soundtrack, relaxing and peppy at the same time. And that's
On Women.
Women.